I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Hello and welcome back to the Bro Force Squad podcast. We are doing another one of our movie commentaries today on the road to Rogue One. We are tackling Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Very divisive film, and by divisive I mean there are a few freaks out there who enjoyed this movie more than some of even the originals. Maybe even Brian Banner is included. I am your host, Jeff Hornacek. Alongside me today, in his lab, is the mad scientist, Brian Banner. Brian, welcome to the pod.
Thank you, and I think I'm one of those sick fucks. I like this movie. If you can get past the shitty romance that Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen supposedly had off camera, on camera, it's up in the air.
There is no way they were banging off camera based on how poor their chemistry is on camera.
No, I think they were like a married couple that were about to be divorced.
Okay.
So I think they could have been.
Fair enough. So those of you at home, thank you so much for joining us. If you have not joined us along with any of these before, basically what we are going to do is watch Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones while we drink some beers and just give you our thoughts on it, some things that we remember from the movie, our thoughts on certain scenes, and it's always a blast. So if you have the DVD or the Blu-ray in right now, just pause it on that screen that says "A Long Time Ago in a Galaxy Far, Far Away," because we are about to start it from there, and we will sync up with you in 3, 2, 1, play. We've been having an issue because Banner is watching this on his PlayStation, where apparently the X button does not pause, but the circle button.
We got some volumes here.
Yeah. Do you have the subtitles on this?
I mean, it might take me an hour to figure out.
I just need to see the words on screen when Anakin is talking about how coarse sand is.
Well, if you can read, it says Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, War. No, this one isn't the one that says War. That's the third one.
That's when they really lay the shit down.
Yeah.
Again, Geiger, by the way, Matt Geiger and Alex English are two other chairs besides the fans out there. Wanted to join, they could not because of traveling and holiday plans. Although, as Matt Geiger says, he is holding out with a contract dispute at this moment, and things are not looking good as neither sides have even talked in 4 or 5 days.
Look, if I would just get my fucking Zima beer money, we wouldn't have a problem.
The check's in the mail. I don't understand what part of the mail you don't understand.
The ale part?
Okay. So now we see that Queen Amidala is now a senator, meaning she doesn't have to wear the geisha makeup, which I think is probably a plus for her.
That was definitely a good move. Although I remember, like, growing up, it was like every girl in elementary school or middle school, whenever this movie came out, wanted to be Queen Amidala, and they dressed up as Queen Amidala for Halloween. So,
full makeup, full regalia?
I mean, I'd say like at least 65% makeup.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, these Naboo fighters, fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I love
they
them.
are cool. That's one of the pluses out of the prequels. Are the starships were pretty cool. Just another thing that didn't make sense to me though, that why was shit so much cooler before, and then 30 years later, however long it is, it's not cool.
Yeah. I remember in the video game on the Nintendo 64, Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Fucking love that.
There was, which actually mainly focuses on the original trilogy, but there is a way to unlock the Naboo fighter. And it's so fast that it's actually fucking hard to play the levels. Like, you need to fly at something, and you fly at it way too quickly.
Look, you have to have Jedi tricks, just like Anakin, to fly one of those. I know that was the last movie, but I wasn't in on that. And you gotta know your shit.
I believe that, so we talked about this at length in episode 1, how Keira Knightley was not filling in, but she had the role of playing the decoy Padme. And in this scene, it is, I believe, Rose Byrne.
Yeah, and they also recast the captain there too, right? Because that's not the same dude.
Yeah, it's not Panaka, which I was not happy about.
Yeah.
No, this one isn't Rose Byrne, but she's definitely dead.
Well, I mean, she's not quite dead, but she'll be dead here in a minute.
Another weird thing, let me just ask this off the top. So clearly someone planted a bomb in her ship. Why do they even have to wait till they land to do? Why couldn't they just detonate it at any point?
I mean, maybe it was like a rocket launcher and they shot it at it.
Also, this woman saying, "I failed you," literally does not understand the very exact purpose of her job. That's it. To get assassinated instead of her.
Look, she got misled on the job description. You know.
That doesn't make sense because it's a very lengthy interview process. We can't have this confusion afterwards.
Well, that's what happens when you take drugs, Jeff.
I'm going to pull up the trivia on IMDb so that we can give you listeners at home some fun facts throughout the course of this film.
I got some problems with R2-D2 in this movie too, which we'll get to later. But
just him being in it, or the ridiculous amounts of things that he's able to do, which
yes.
conveniently he can't do in the originals.
The fact that he can fly, like I'm okay with some of the other stuff, like shocking and shit like that. But the fact that he can fly is just a little just absurd.
Now here's Palpatine just with the fucking boys, poker night. You know, we're all just throwing back some cognacs, and then Mace Windu needs to fucking talk politics again and just ruin it.
I'm not a fan that they changed Yoda to CGI in this one, but they also CGI'd Conehead's face on here too. So
another reason I'm kind of upset they CGI'd him was it made, and spoiler alert, his fight at the end with Dooku, which was really cool the first time I saw it. You just go rewatch now. It's ridiculous.
It's absurd, yeah. The fight with, oh, here's my boy right here.
It's your boy?
It's my boy. Misa boy. So I don't get it. So the Gungans weren't part of the Galactic Alliance until they fought with the Naboo? Once the Naboo...
By the way, there's Rose Byrne in the background. Smoke show. But yeah, so I believe the Gungan... There she is.
Yeah.
I believe the Gungans...
She actually looks a lot like Natalie Portman.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of... Never really put the two together.
I believe the Gungans and their slobbering leader came to terms. I think we all have an uncle like that who's about to visit us for the holidays. I believe they basically were absorbed into the political scene on Naboo.
And they picked Jar Jar to be their fearless leader.
You got to lead with your bell cow, lead with your strongest. Kind of hard to believe that pretty much all of this except that chair, maybe even that fucking chair, is green screen.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that chair might be green screen. You can't get upholstery like that in real life.
You really can't. Unless
the
you have...
stitch work is just incredible.
The craftsmanship, you can tell that an actual person got in there with needle and thread on their knees and did it. Rose Byrne looks so confused.
Well, yeah, she has no fucking clue what's going on right now. She's along with the rest of us who just want to see people shoot lasers and fight with swords at each other, and we're talking politics and shit.
That one chick was so, she was the green color of the green screen. I wonder how they did that without, the fucking background going on her face.
Technology, brah.
Now, here we go. One great actor in the peak of his career, and Ewan McGregor.
Okay, so here's something. I think you guys touched on this a little bit in Phantom Menace, but when I went back and rewatched this recently, I like Ewan McGregor's hair in this one.
I do too.
I like kind of the long hair, half mullet look.
He's got a Swayze, he could walk into any cantina and just leave with the skankiest chick.
Yeah, for sure. And then
I like the beard too, which obviously they have to get that going because Alec Guinness and his Obi-Wan Kenobi was rocking the beard heavy.
Yes. Obi, Misa so happy.
And I think at this point in the movie, we're all thinking God damn it, George, do not give us Jar Jar again for 2 hours. Because he's already coming in the movie pretty hot.
Yeah, they came off strong and with Jar Jar, and there's no way. Even he knew this was a bad idea, but I see why he had to put him into this one.
Right.
You can't just not put him in.
Padme is already getting thirsty once she sees Anakin.
Which I never understood. So their thing just now started. It didn't start 10 years ago when he was just a boy.
I would hope not. I mean, even the Galactic Senate, as corrupt as it is, does have child molestation laws. So Rose Byrne, it's funny, if you're her role, the decoy, and they're hiring, and she's in the interview process, and they're like, yeah, we'd like you to come on and be the Queen's decoy. And she's like, okay, great. Like, what happened to the old one? Well, she was fucking murdered in cold blood. Would you still like the job? I would not. No. Even
Well,
with,
what are the benefits?
well, there's dental.
Yeah, I mean,
But
vision.
There's
Does
no,
my spouse get vision as well?
Okay, now you're pushing it.
I'm just asking. These are questions that a 401k. I mean, is there a match program?
There is a 401k, but they don't match.
See, that's tough.
What kind of jobs do you think you have to be qualified to die for someone else?
Like you have to have
what's
work
on
experience.
her? Yeah, like what's on her resume? What's on her resume? Like, well, we don't think you're qualified.
Look,
to get shot, I don't really understand what I could have done differently.
I mean, I've been shot before.
By the way, if you're someone at home, and I hope no one says this, if you're someone at home who says, I'm going to retire, when you go into your room to sleep, just don't.
I mean, I say that every night.
Yeah, so we need to change that. Reading his lyrics or his dialogue on screen is even more cringeworthy than hearing it.
It's really hard, actually, because it's not English.
Definitely not.
Like, I feel like I'm switching between like Portuguese and English every time he talks.
No offense to the Portuguese.
No, none at all. I just don't understand it. First look at Jango Fett here, and these little fucking worm things.
God, these things creep me out.
I feel like you can already tell, kind of, that Anakin is going to go to the dark side just based on his wardrobe. They dressed him in darker clothes than, say, Obi-Wan.
So I have some facts here, which will
drop it on me.
Sprinkle in throughout the movie. Obviously, Hayden Christensen is very maligned for his performance as Anakin, and as a result, it pretty much stopped his career dead in its tracks.
That's not true. He got Jumper out of this.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay, never mind. Retract that. Some of the other actors who auditioned for the part of Anakin included Ryan Phillippe, who I actually would have really liked. Paul Walker, can't really see him there.
No.
And another gentleman named, Colin Hanks and Jonathan Brandis. I'm not familiar with Jonathan Brandis.
I'm not either. Colin Hanks, I can't see either.
I think Ryan Phillippe would have been a really good choice.
I think he would have been too, but I think he also dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Because of the dialogue and the writing of this and just kind of what you were asked to do. I think he dodged a bullet. I think that, well, I mean, look, Hayden Christensen, he can't be this bad.
Yeah.
Could he? Can he? Is he?
I've seen him in other movies, and he's not much better. But like we said, you take a not so great actor, give him bad dialogue, and this is what you get.
Yeah.
At this point, he's just so horny. It's really getting in the way of his Jedi responsibilities.
Yeah, I mean, are Jedi allowed to take care of themselves?
I have not glanced over the Jedi Code recently, but I don't think there's anything against that.
Okay.
It's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a health concern.
Yeah.
So this little robot thing that we're about to see here that just, it doesn't even cut the window. It just makes it disappear.
Great for peeping toms.
Awesome. Like these little laser things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The precision to not cut through the blinds at that part. Just like
These worm things creep me out, man.
just like a turd dropped in a porta potty.
It's like Slither, directed by James Gunn.
It's a pretty good movie too. So I feel like R2 has to have Jedi powers too, right?
In this movie, we learn that R2 has abilities and strengths that were just way too convenient for the plot here, and obviously never rear their head again.
Maybe he's the chosen one. Maybe he's the boy the prophecy speaks of.
I mean, when I broke it down line by line, it all still connected to him. Here's Anakin already sucking Palpatine's
Yeah,
dick.
I mean, I know you and Geyer kind of talked about this a little bit, where they didn't really show him falling for the. I sent it too. God, it's so bad.
It's cringeworthy.
Yeah. Geiger was upset because they don't really talk about how he falls for the Emperor and God, Obi-Wan's such a badass.
Why is that robot still hanging around? Like, it did its job. It dropped the worms in. Like, why stay there?
I don't know. I really like this chase scene. I mean, granted, you're hanging by your fingertips for probably 10 hours a day with a fan blowing in your face, but they did a good job. There was hours and hours of work done on the back end.
You know,
to make that look cool.
Of the things I have a problem with in this movie, I'll say this chase scene's fine. I'm not going to nitpick this.
But going back, they start to build that trust and Anakin has in the Chancellor early on. Even right there in that scene right before this, he's saying, no, the Chancellor's a good guy. He's not corrupt. Blah, blah, blah.
Is that Sebulba, by the way?
No, I think that's his cousin.
Sebulba, man. That guy probably has a serious drug problem now. He's just on Coruscant, banging whores.
No, he's still on Tatooine, man, doing like black tar heroin.
That seems to be his scene.
Why doesn't she just shoot Obi-Wan?
That's a question a lot of people have had. Like, clearly the aim was not the issue. She hit something smaller than him.
Yeah.
The aesthetic of Coruscant, I always loved. Like, the city that's incredibly busy.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Just the city that's nothing but buildings. Like when I first watched this and I was little, like, I didn't think that Coruscant had, like a planet underneath all the buildings.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a cluster of buildings, and there was no ground.
I like that line. I couldn't find a speeder. I really like that. I actually still think that's funny.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, this movie, if you can get past some of the bad dialogue and the terrible romance that ensues, it's not a bad movie. And I know you guys are saying there's no point to it, blah, blah, blah. Yes, there is. We learn where stormtroopers come from. And we learn why they're so fucking bad at shooting. Because if Jango Fett's bad at shooting, if you clone him 50 bajillion times, you're going to be bad at shooting stuff.
Yeah, that's just going to happen. See,
that's what she said.
That is what she said. Here they do it like they're trying. He's clearly trying to establish in the best way that George Lucas knows how that, hey, Anakin is very rebellious and going against the Jedi teachings, and Obi-Wan, is really not in favor of that. But it's just like they do it in ways that you don't need to do it.
Yeah, another thing that I'll take out of this part and a couple other scenes, and they do it in the third one as well, is they're showing how Anakin is a very good pilot and how he may not be the best swordsman, but he's a fantastic at flying speeder. Like, anything you can fly,
right,
he can fly, which then plays into in A New Hope, when Luke says, my father was a space pilot or a space traveler or whatever, a starfighter, that's what it is. Says he's a starfighter. Well, he wasn't lied to, because Anakin is a fantastic starfighter pilot and can fly the shit out of anything and do it well.
Yeah, that was not one of the many lies that Obi-Wan told him about his dad.
I don't think Obi-Wan ever really lied to him. He just didn't necessarily tell him the truth.
He conveniently forgot to mention that he sliced off the lower half of his body and left him burning to death on Mustafar.
Look. Would you trust somebody to take you halfway across the world to save some bitch if he said, "Yeah, you're and her dad, I kind of almost tried to kill"?
But see, that's the point. He's very deceitful just to get himself off Tatooine.
Look, you don't have to convince me that the dark side is the right side.
Okay, good. That's all I need to know.
I'm just playing devil's advocate mainly because that's my favorite game.
So this chick is a changeling, which they mention, and I still, to this day, don't know why that is significant to the plot.
I think it's just George Lucas showing that, hey, I've created more beings.
Yeah, that probably is it. This is just... Sure.
I mean, look, I believe it.
I do like, I mean, I wish, like, cooler stuff would have happened, but I like when he pulls his lightsaber out while he's on the ship.
Yeah. I just feel like the speed, there's no way that this can happen, that the speed that they're traveling. Like, I know that we're saying how unrealistic a extremely unrealistic movie is, but, like, you have to make things believable.
Or just can't, like, take you out of the movie.
Yeah. This part
Here we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Just kill her.
Great catch. That was a
great catch.
Stan
Van Gundy would be proud of Obi-Wan right there.
Oh, shit.
Lady drivers, am I right?
I feel like they would be coming in a lot hotter than this. Like, I feel like they're going a lot faster than when they actually crash.
There's been a lot of talk about some sort of Netflix show or a network show set in the Star Wars universe that focuses on kind of the underbelly and the gangs of Coruscant, which
That'd be cool.
I've always kind of been interested in, and this is obviously the closest thing we get to it is this bar where the person offers Obi-Wan some death sticks.
I think that'd be really cool. And you can even incorporate some low-level Jedi that we've never heard of, that will never be any significant in anything.
Mm-hmm.
His sole job is to track these gangs down.
Yeah, maybe like the Hutts are doing something.
Yeah, something
Selling
like that.
death
That'd be
sticks.
cool. I could definitely get behind that.
I have another, it's not a fun fact, but
I mean, give me an unfun
it's
fact.
a Hayden Christensen fact. So Hayden Christensen claimed to have greatly enjoyed filming this bar scene because it was the only real set that he got to work on during the movie. Everything else was blue or green screen. Which I think says more about the rest of the movie than it does this scene.
I agree. I think that also says a lot about The Force Awakens, because there was hardly any of that movie that was filmed green screen, except for maybe the space, like obviously when they're in space. But
by the way, who'd you bet on in this game?
Oh, blue for sure.
Yeah, I got blue -6.5.
Yeah.
With that defense?
Yeah. You can't stop it.
No, you can't. You saw their pass rush right there.
Yeah.
That guy came just off the edge.
No, the Browns are recruiting them right now.
Yeah, I don't think the Browns are even on
They
that
can't
level.
afford anybody on that team.
So this guy who sells Obi-Wan death sticks, what do we think death sticks are?
I think they're like...
Also, that is Ahmed Best, that African-American gentleman who plays Jar Jar. They spent all their budget on the green screen, so they had to recycle these actors.
I think a death stick is like... It's got to be some sort of just... Actually, just time out. Whatever he's drinking that's that neon blue, I want one.
I want one of those, yeah. Give me one of those with an umbrella.
Yeah, maybe a pineapple on top.
I'll take that. I'm on vacation.
Death sticks, they gotta just be like cigarettes, maybe laced with something, like space tobacco.
Yeah. So are they like dip tobacco? Do you think you put a death stick under your tongue? How do you think you would ingest a death stick?
Well, being that it's space, you probably don't light it on fire. Maybe it's like chewing tobacco, like you eat it. Boom! You dead, bitch.
Yeah, thinking, and that is Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO. It's incredible.
Just fucking cameos everywhere.
To think you can sneak up on a Jedi is just pretty fucking naive.
Can Anakin really say that Jedi business? You're not a Jedi.
Yeah.
So I really think you should be like Padawan business, nothing to see.
That's like the guy who hangs out with like the celebrity, like someone hanging out with Katy Perry. It's like the Katy Perry business, all right? Like, but you're not her, so maybe don't.
That's some powerful shit to work instantly like that.
Cold-blooded.
We slaughter.
I think that was foul language and changeling dialect. A Kamino saber dart, as we will find out later.
How connected is Obi-Wan?
He's got a lot. It's good to have friends in low places, as Garth Brooks said. Our weekly Oprah's Book Club meeting here.
I never noticed the guy that's like has a serpent tail.
Yeah, and like a beard too.
And the dinosaur.
Let's just say it. How fucking ugly is the Jedi Council? I mean, these guys
yeah,
go out
yeah.
for like
when Mace Windu is one of your top 3,
not good.
Yeah, you know you have a problem.
These guys go out to like a company happy hour, and it's rough. The trying to pick up chicks.
How old was Hayden Christensen when this came out?
I want to say 20, maybe a little bit older.
Because he looks young. Well, I mean, which is probably part of the reason that he got the role, but.
Plo Koon, the guy sitting by the door, maybe the ugliest of the ugly. I always play with him in Jedi Power Battles. He has a yellow lightsaber.
Mm-hmm. That was why I love the yellow. I love the different colored lightsabers, like the purple and the yellows.
There was a chick with a pink one. The problem with Plo Koon, he attacks very slow.
Yeah, his Jedi reflexes are on the fritz a little bit.
And here's Palpatine just fucking working Anakin over. Again, this is mostly all green screen. It's kind of tough.
Honestly, those chairs are green screen. Like, looking at the lamps, there's no way those are actual set pieces.
It's just tough to show up to work and you know that for 2 or 3 hours you're just going to be sitting on a green screen.
It's got to do, like, a number on your eyes. Like, you have nothing to actually look at.
Yeah, and again, this is green screen to death. Like, my God.
And, like, I know in movies like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff, we have a lot of green screen as well. But, or even, like, in Jurassic World, where all the dinosaurs, for the most part, well, a lot of the dinosaurs are all CGI. They just know how to do it better now.
You just don't notice it.
Yeah.
And when you notice it, that's when it becomes a problem. Like, I feel like I'm playing a PlayStation game right now.
Yeah.
And I love PlayStation.
And that says a lot about PlayStation games, too, that the graphics are that good.
Yeah.
I really hate the fact that Yoda is a CGI now. He's not a puppet anymore. By the way, the transitions from, like, scene to scene, I'm pretty sure that was done on Windows Movie Maker.
Mm-hmm.
If you check out our YouTube page, I use the same fucking shit.
So this is something that people love to discuss at length. This is Padme basically saying, I'm in danger here. If we actually want to conduct this investigation into what's going on, I need to leave. So she's leaving Jar Jar in charge as the delegate from Naboo.
Smart.
Now, huge spoiler here if you haven't seen these movies, but Jar Jar is going to be the one who passes the emergency powers for Senator Palpatine, who then becomes the Emperor. So basically, not only is Jar Jar Binks a horrendous character, but he's also the one who set the events into motion for the Empire to take over. So good work, Jar Jar, all around.
That, and we won't get into a lot of this because mainly I don't know a whole lot of it, but that kind of also leads into that theory, or feeds into that theory that Jar Jar is a Sith Lord.
Yes, it does.
Which we won't get into that. That's a whole nother pod.
Without Geiger on the pod.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right.
Now this is him just trying to bang chicks. Like, yeah, I can just move.
Yeah,
shit.
he's like, look at this.
Imagine the application of this skill in the bedroom.
He's like, you know what? If I practice, I could probably cut a pear.
He's like, I'm an apprentice in the Jedi arts, but definitely not in going down on the ladies, if you know what I'm saying. Just like, that's disgusting. Don't say that.
But yet, I want you.
Natalie Portman face acting the shit out of this scene. And this is, again, kind of like a show me, don't tell me. Anakin is sitting here bitching and complaining about the way Obi-Wan treats him, and in the previous scene in the bar on Coruscant, he says, you're the closest thing I have to a father. That's very contradictory.
I mean, I would agree, except most of the time guys don't like their dads growing up.
That's true.
Because their dads, like, hate them. But then, in the third one, Obi-Wan refers to him as a brother. So we got some fucked up incest.
It's
weird
a weird,
shit
it's
going
like a backwoods, like Alabama. If you live in Alabama, no disrespect at all, but
on. Nah, he's kind of disrespecting.
I'm kind of disrespecting you.
Not intentionally, but he is.
I mean, it's not an accident.
I like this little bus thing that they get on.
This
too.
is nice. Yeah, this thing runs
That's the thing. Like, even though it's CGI, and I don't like the CGI, when everything is CGI, I kind of like it. And, like, the futuristic of the...
is Rose Byrne acting.
Probably the only one acting. But I like the way that the spaceships and stuff like that look. Anakin checking her out.
Bro, Anakin in the white robe, he's just dressed to kill.
Yeah. They gotta go incognito. Which is, why the fuck is Padme wearing that thing on her head?
I don't know. She looks like a Christmas ornament.
I could see that. Or maybe like a baby peacock?
There's like jizz stains all over Anakin's little... Like, this is disgusting.
Oh, apparently he can take care of it himself.
Like, do we not have laundromats in Coruscant? How the fuck do you wear that out of the house? There's no point in wearing your Sunday finest if there's a huge shit stain on the front of it. Good one, Anakin. Classic.
Here's where it fucking goes downhill.
He's like, no, but like literally R2 can fly and shoot rocket boosters out of his feet. He can actually do a lot of things.
The little cafeteria scene on this ship is pretty cool too.
Yeah. It was Meatloaf Day also.
See, like this scene right here, where it's all CGI, and you see the cars and shit going by, it's pretty cool. 50s diner.
Yeah, this is Obi-Wan going to a diner to ask about the Kamino saber dart. And this gentleman who, I can't remember, we'll see his name right here in a second, the fat-ass chef.
Dex.
He makes a face when Obi-Wan asks him about something with like this system it was on. He goes, it depends how big your pocketbook is.
Yeah.
And it's the weirdest face. It's like he is going to murder everyone. He knows, and it never is relevant at all in the movie. But when every time I watch this, I cannot figure out.
Why does he have to scratch his ass?
I mean, it itched.
By the way, how cool would it be to have 4 arms?
The things that I could do.
This has got to be a hard movie to film. Like,
Yeah.
just because of, you are literally, like, Ewan McGregor's looking at nothing right now. He's also ahead of his time with the Yeti.
Is that milkshake CGI? Hopefully that's at least real. He actually got a milkshake.
Yeah, strawberry.
This guy, again, I understand you're a chef at a diner, but if health code came in here, you got a hole in your fucking shirt. It's like your midriff is exposed. There's a ponytail in the back that doesn't have a hairnet on it.
Coruscant's food regulations are they're not up to they're not up to spec like a Tatooine. Okay, Tatooine has very strict rules.
Because I saw the A grade labeled on the window, and I just want to know the last time someone actually came in here and did their due diligence.
It was a longer time ago in a galaxy further away.
Wow, can't wait to see that prequel movie. This scene right here. Like, how fucking...
It's kind of creepy.
It's very cryptic.
And then with the giggling.
This lady is a bitch.
She's a... Yes. The patience Obi-Wan has. He's like, look, sweetheart. It's supposed to be here, and it's not here.
How do you think this old woman felt George Lucas had women reading? He was like, yes, the role, you just need to be a huge bitch in the library. We think you're perfect for it. She's like, well, what does that mean? Exactly. You got the part. Thanks, Gladys.
Why is her name Gladys?
Gladys or Esther? You can pick which one it is.
I like Gladys better.
And there's a problem with just some of these old people in general. I just feel like they're so stubborn and stuck in their ways that they or their generation could never make a mistake. Like, bitch, you are going to cost the entire universe their freedom if you don't at least admit, okay, maybe someone can get it and delete it. And you learn later, it's not that hard to do, to get into the Jedi archives and delete something. You've been looking at porn on your Jedi-issued laptop. You can just go in there, clear history real quick.
I kind of want some pancakes now.
I can mess with that. I had French toast for breakfast. It was delicious.
That sounds awesome. I had some awesome muffins that Mrs. Banner made.
What kind?
They were like pumpkin and cinnamon.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
yep.
yeah. They hit the spot. I had like 4 of them.
Here's R2 just walking around and just trying to, we're on this ship for a few days. Let's meet some friends.
And I like how she's going incognito here, but she's wearing like a fucking ghillie suit on her face.
Yeah, it's not really laying low. I would not define compassion as unconditional love.
So, is she quote unquote force sensitive? I know that's a new term.
Yeah, I want to say no. But
I don't know.
I mean, you don't need the Force to sense how horny the guy across the table from you is.
Yeah. Oh, he's laying the Mac down hard.
So now that Ewan McGregor's here, and again, these are going to be somewhat difficult to point out, but I have a fun fact about Ewan McGregor as well. So after making this film, McGregor starred in Black Hawk Down, which, if you haven't seen, required him to be clean-shaven and have a very close buzz cut, which is obviously the exact opposite of his look in this film. So, as all these big-budget movies do, especially ones with extensive computer-generated imagery do, they had reshoots at some point. And so new scenes with Obi-Wan Kenobi were added to the film in post-production, and since McGregor did not have near enough time to regrow his hair or the full beard, he had to be fitted with a hairpiece and a prosthetic beard, which is often easily distinguished from his natural hair.
I don't like the term prosthetic beard.
Yeah. So
why can't we just say a fake beard?
Agreed.
Prosthetic beard is like...
It sounds like we surgically went in and like...
Yeah, it sounds like he
Team
had
America.
his beard amputated and he needs it to walk around.
So it probably won't be as bad as Kate Mara's wig in the new Fantastic Four movie, but hopefully we can spot that.
We're not talking about that. You know my feelings on the Fantastic Fours.
We do. Also, the hats that these little kids have, in the original Star Wars, I believe it's A New Hope, one of the guys, I don't know if he's the dude who shoots the Death Star or one of the guys who works for the Rebel Alliance, but they have a weird helmet like this on.
Yeah, it's similar. I think it's somebody, they actually work for the Empire. It's like the people that work in the Death Star.
Yeah, I think it's actually the dude who, like, when they tell him to...
Yeah, I think you're right.
And he makes that ooh type noise.
Yeah. Sound effect, man. Sound effects are the shit sometimes.
They're really cool.
Little throwback with little balls to A New Hope.
Great homage there. So glad that Frank Oz came back.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we would have done if we didn't get to have his voice.
It wouldn't have been the same. Oh, yeah.
Love Naboo.
I'm coming home. Naboo. Tell the world that I'm coming home.
Naboo is just gorgeous. No denying that.
No, it is cool. I love like the green copper roofs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is. I would put that on my house if I could.
It's classy AF.
R2 trying to navigate the stairs. They just fucking leave him.
Hey,
why doesn't he just fly?
Exactly.
Just like. Oh, they said waited for him now, I guess.
He's like, no, fine. This isn't even handicap accessible, which is illegal.
Not a Naboo.
See, this looks like a real set too, though, which is probably a relief. George's like, we'll walk on the outside for like 5 seconds.
This one could be a real set too.
Yeah, I'm hoping this was the same palace as the first one.
That was like an Italian palace, wasn't it? Like it was in Italy somewhere?
Yes. And now there's the super fucking negative. Communications disruption can only mean invasion. He's still hanging around.
Yeah, that fucking guy.
This guy, Jesus.
I figured he'd be dead by now. Still with the fucking shitty ass makeup. I just don't get it.
That dude, the bearded guy, has he ever said anything positive?
Maybe that's his job.
Just to be negative
Yeah,
Nancy?
yeah. So just to make sure that we pay attention to everything.
I'll say this: we complain a lot about people who surround themselves with yes men. He's a no man. That's what he is.
Yeah, which I don't know if that's a lot better.
That's the guy. Like, no matter you're in a group of people, everybody agrees on a restaurant, and he's like, I had a bad experience there once. It wasn't the food; it was the service. Like we're going there. It's been set in motion.
I might be that guy then, because I've never had that experience.
God, Anakin is just livid. Although Padme is being a huge bitch.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you gotta respect, she knows the Lake Country.
Yeah.
I like these little, the little light speed accessory things.
So cool.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Like, it's neat that, how they were able to use that.
Obi-Wan just brought his headset that he uses to play Call of Duty onto the ship with him. Kamino.
Like, they're flanking us! They're flanking us!
Kamino. Gorgeous. Oh.
The weather.
Beautiful.
The weather.
Now, like, this planet appears to be all ocean and just shitty weather the whole time. The first Kaminoans, whoever came there, why were they like, guys, I think this is the place we're going to settle. I think we found it. Like, this is horrendous.
Definitely not a fake hair there.
Yeah. This thing has a little Jedi braid going on, too. I don't know what that deal is.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the, which obviously this preceded it, but Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the aliens in that, from the Indiana Jones
Yeah,
movie.
regrettably, there are aliens in an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah. Spielberg, man, had to get him in there somehow.
I mean, this is so much CGI, it's actually kind of hurting my eyes.
Although I like the Mohawk. Lucas is like, how are we going to distinguish one fucking ugly alien from another fucking ugly alien?
Yeah.
I don't know, just to put a Mohawk on one.
Give one of them like a Mohawk thing. I do like
I
how
like the spoon
this is like a Quagmire's house type feel. Like, oh, hey, you want to have a seat? And a chair just comes out from the ceiling.
Yeah, I feel it. So, you and me, we had a discussion about this off air. So, Sifo-Dyas, he ordered these clones. Did he order them for the Sith, or was he ordering them for the Jedi without the Jedi knowing? And was he an actual Sith Lord, or was the Emperor just using him?
It's a great question. And one I am hoping in some of the canon novels is explained. I still have been planning to read a lot of those, although I haven't. My guess would be, based on what we're given in the movie, is that, by the way, this could be a fake hair scene, based on that last look. My guess would be Sifo-Dyas was just someone who Palpatine got to do like his bitch work way back in the day, and maybe he had plans for him to be a Sith apprentice, and realized
he's kind of like a Dooku, but didn't make it to where Dooku made it.
Right, didn't get to the Dooku level. So he got him to order the clone army in secret to do it as a Jedi, but not for the Jedi.
I got it.
And basically, like, men do to women when they're just men are being pigs. Once you get what you want out of him, you basically just kick him to the curb. Because Obi-Wan says, they do reference that he is dead, right?
Yeah.
He's like, he died a long time ago, right?
Yeah, and the Kamino was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I like this dress of hers. It's pretty hot.
Looks better on the floor.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to get sand on it, though.
Yeah. It's so coarse.
Sand is coarse and rough.
That might be your favorite line in cinema.
I mean, nothing beats it. Here we go. We will not talk and let you guys enjoy it. I have to agree, sand does get everywhere. You go to the beach,
it does.
you find it in shit like months later.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't even make sense. In bags you didn't even take to the beach.
Yeah. Try eating a sandwich on the beach.
Awful
It's
idea.
literally a sand sandwich.
How long did you have that joke prepared prior to this?
I mean, I'm not going to say this isn't my first time to use it, because it's not.
I'm not saying it's a bad joke.
He's fucking creepy right here.
He's really creepy.
Like,
he's got the rapey eyes.
Yeah, he does. But she's kind of like the give it to me rapey eyes, too. Like, I'm falling for it.
She doesn't not want it, as we can see.
Yeah.
Now he's going to pull out his phone like, all right, what whores do I know on Naboo that I can text?
Yeah, he's like, is Tinder a thing here?
It's got to be. He could probably use his Jedi powers to just swipe right on everyone.
Yeah.
Now they mentioned this, these clones are growth accelerated, right?
Yes. So they grow, I want to say it was twice as fast.
But then do they like plateau at like the age of whatever, like 25, 30 when you actually need them? Because you don't want them aging twice as fast then when they can actually fight for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest with you. But he does, so that's what Boba Fett is. He is one of the clones, but he doesn't have the age accelerant.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it's just like a vitamin they give him to make him grow more.
All those clones down there looked like the guard with the eye patch who was with Padme.
Kinda, I can see that.
What do you think the process of getting his DNA to do this is? Pretty painful, or does he just like, jerk off in a cup and we're good?
Well, I feel like for that many, it's not just like one. Like, it's probably like a once a week kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they're pretty fancy. He probably just like sticks his dick in a hole and like stands there for a couple minutes and then boom, he's good.
I have another fact here. So according to the animation director of this movie, Rob Coleman, which by the looks of the amount of CGI was a very fucking busy guy.
Yeah, he was probably more busy than the regular director in this movie.
So this is a pretty astounding fact that I'm about to read you. According to Rob Coleman, not a single clone trooper suit was ever built. Every single clone trooper seen in the film is completely computer generated, with motion capture performed by ILM employees, which is Industrial Lights and Magic, who does a lot of these movies.
Yeah, they're at the top of the line. They're the best in the business.
Yeah, wearing only the helmet and sometimes the footwear of the suit. The rest is complete CG, which is insane.
That is absurd.
There's not one guy on set with the actual armor on. Like, that's just absolute nuts to me. Especially when you consider in the original Star Wars, every single dude running around had a Stormtrooper uniform on.
Yeah. Well, and then again in the Force Awakens, they didn't use hardly any CGI either. So, oh god, let's just talk about like, I don't know, anything during this scene. Is that a tackle box behind him?
I think so, or maybe it's that box in like Jedi that Luke brings his lunch to Dagobah in.
yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Got some apples and maybe some pomegranates in there.
Yeah, those travel well.
Yeah. Get some trail mix, maybe a beef stick.
This is an interesting fact that I think comes up in this scene. According to visual effects supervisor John Knoll, who was also just as busy, a big cow-like creature that Anakin and Padme frolic around in the fields with, which I believe is either in this scene or coming up very soon, can be seen in the asteroid belt that Obi-Wan flies through. One asteroid has legs. I'm not sure
Really?
what that means. Yeah, I guess one of these things could sort of look like an asteroid, but
This is like giant fucking turds to me.
I'm guessing that's the scene where Jango is chasing him from the asteroid belt. So we'll have to look for one of these
We'll have to look for one of these
blobs.
guys with legs.
These things are like
I don't feel like those legs are strong enough to support the weight.
right. Well, they all look like Kim Kardashian. They have like just a big fat ass and then nothing else on
Yeah.
them.
Oh, the trickery. Oh gosh, it's so funny. Oh no.
Classic.
Nobody ever rolls around
No one does
in
that.
grass like that. Like you get all itchy and shit. Like it's just
Yeah,
not.
don't sit here and complain to me that sand is coarse and rough, and then start fucking rolling around in the grass.
Can Kaminoans hold their breath,
Ah, man.
or do they have like gills? Because
I
he
would-
just came out of the water.
I would hope they could swim underwater, considering their entire fucking planet.
Could you imagine if you're like you live on a boat and you can't swim?
It's just not. It's not good planning.
Yep.
This kid's ugly.
Ugly as fuck.
Oh, good acting there.
I'm gonna look this kid up. I'm gonna see what else he's in. I'm gonna do this one for you. This one's for you, Hornacek.
Thanks, man. Jango, cocky AF, as
Boba
always.
Fett, Daniel Logan. Let's see. He's actually going to be in Sharknado 4. So his career is taken off. He hasn't done a whole lot. Star Trek continues.
He did Star Trek? Wow, what a fucking traitor.
He did Star Trek Continues, a TV series, and in 2014 he did one episode. And then he was in Sharknado 4. And that's pretty much it. So this was his career.
This Daniel Logan kid has one speed, and it's angsty young, like kid on the precipice of being a teenager.
Yeah, we've all been there. Acting the shit out of this right here. I feel like staring into each other's souls.
This is just a dick measuring contest through and through. The beard and hair look real in this scene.
Yeah. I agree, though, when it was all wet and slicked back, that might have been a fake beard. Or, fake hair.
I guess I just didn't realize the timeline, but I had no idea that Black Hawk Down was...
I didn't realize that it was that close to it
No,
either.
I didn't either. That's also a great movie.
Fantastic movie. God, with the
The
fucking
scene
hair.
is brutal, yeah, with the
This
hair.
is tough.
And the CGI when she stabs it with her fork coming up is pretty rough.
Do you think she is CGI'd in that part? I mean, it's possible, right?
By the way, what kind of fucking meal is this? It's just fruit.
It's like an appetizer.
We have like a...
Look, maybe they're on a paleo diet.
But here's the thing. So this servant lady's coming in acting like she's serving them. Like, you're not doing anything, Maureen. It's just a fucking bowl of fruit that we're cutting into. way she attacks this is. Oh my god.
Oh, I actually think that even when she took that bite, that was CGI.
Yeah, it was. And now they cut to this weird, like, dominatrix.
Yeah. What I want to know is if he's supposed to be protecting her, quote unquote, why can't he just like stand outside her door?
Let's be honest, no one's using protection in this scene.
No. This is where we get Luke and Leia.
This is just horrible dialogue.
I think I want to turn the subtitles off for this scene because it's that bad.
Oh my god.
His facial expressions when he says this. Just, I don't understand why he didn't get better roles after this.
The one line I do like is right here where he's like, if you were feeling some of this, tell me. She's like so uncomfortable, but as we always know, if she's not leaving, there's a reason.
Yeah. Oh my god. What? Throw up.
He's just making he's making it too easy on her. Chicks like the game, they like the chase.
See, I feel like Obi-Wan or Mace Windu or Yoda, they would have known about something like this just with the Force. And like, I don't know, I just feel like they would have known somehow. That right there, like it matters because you're a Jedi and I'm a senator. Like if I wasn't a senator, it'd be okay.
Yeah, but that's like look, I'm breaking up with you just because like you're too good for me.
Yeah, like
I'm
look,
doing this
it's
for
not
you.
you, it's me.
Yeah, I just need to pop open the hood and do a little investigating with Anakin and figure out, who I am outside of us.
I feel like this is like sophomore in high school. Like, should we have sex? Should we not have sex? Should we have sex? Should we not have sex?
She's like, I will not.
Like we do hand stuff all the time. Like it's time to take our relationship to the next level in a physical way.
This is what turns her on. It could be a secret. She's like, oh. He's like, except you could tell your dad because I know you're using me to piss him off, so that's fine.
Yeah. I'm over it.
The ponytail is just, I mean...
The rat's tail?
Yeah, the rat tail.
It's terrible.
What if he went with two? He had one coming down each ear.
Ooh, like pigtails? Like fucking handlebars for her?
Guy pigtails? Yeah. At first I thought he said, I won't forget you. And I was like, you guys don't have that kind of relationship.
I like this scene coming up. This fight between Obi-Wan and Jango Fett.
I like how Jango fights. It's kind of like Batman. Like he uses like
the grappling hook and
yeah.
and the little spikes on his arm. What the fuck are those things called?
What's the old folks' home?
How Mace Windu's sitting looks super uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like those chairs don't look comfortable, but the chairs in the Jedi Council, they actually look pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I would need, if I was in the Jedi Council, I would need like an ottoman or something to rest my feet on.
Yeah, I could see that. And like a blanket, maybe with like a 50-inch. And like a handmaiden to bring me like rations. Sustenance.
Cypher Diaz says Ryota's like, oh god, remember
Yeah,
that.
at the request of the Senate. So what they're saying is Cypher Diaz died before he requested it at the site of the Senate. So he died like 12 years ago, quote unquote.
So they basically like used his like email to like place the order. That makes sense. I was trying to think of like the equivalent in the Senate.
Fucking email.
They're like, does anyone have his login while his corpse is laying in the back of the room?
Like, just reset the password. Just say you forgot the password.
Oh, he says the code is the Force. What does that mean?
No, but it's capitalized. Try capitalizing it.
The way we have caps lock on, that's a problem. The other thing is, now you almost have to assume that Sifo-Dyas dying was somehow set in motion.
It also looks like Anakin's getting off right here.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's what a wet dream is?
R2 comes out of the sheets.
Gross.
What can't R2 do?
There's another gadget that he has.
know?
You know, he can fly, he can electrocute people, he also has a fleshlight.
Great. He's the complete package. No wonder Luke spent so much for him on Tatooine.
But he was going to go pick up some power converters.
We're going to Tashi because of power converters! What a whiny bitch. I hope in episode 8, there's a scene where Luke is staring out at the water and he goes, all I wanted was to go to Tachi and pick up some power converters. Because everything would have been different.
Look, if Uncle Owen would have just let him go to Tachi, none of this would have happened.
The moisture farm needed him.
Fuck.
This is a part of the movie and a plot that actually really works for me. And Geiger loves this. It's
when he goes back to Tatooine.
the whole thing with his mother, like
yes,
the fear of it, the anger, how it draws him to the dark side.
yes.
How it
and I
leads.
agree with Geiger. It would have been better if they actually showed him murdering more Sand people. But yeah, as far as the story and the plot and all of that, it works. It works. It goes along with everything. It has him falling for it, and it brings us kind of back to the roots. It sets up why Luke is at Uncle Owen's.
Yeah. Like, if we're going to give George Lucas a lot of shit for how bad the Anakin Padme stuff is, I got to say, the stuff with him and his mom really works. Although it does really suck when he goes back and you realize, like, how shitty Shmi's life got after he left. And he's, like, a Jedi now, basically.
Yeah.
Now, why can't he deflect those lasers back at him?
I don't know.
This
I
is
love
a cool
the roll.
scene. Yeah. Dive roll is one of my favorite moves. This shit would just be annoying because you have to lay
Why
down
doesn't he
and
just
take
go
off.
and jump into the ship and be like, "Look, motherfucker, I got your son."
I mean, they're bringing the heavy firepower out there. You already shot a rocket. This dude's using, like... That would kill you.
That would totally kill you. No, that's like that brings your life down to like 98%.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So he
you
needs
got
to find a
2%
health.
left. Yeah, you got to find a health. I kind of like the hand-to-hand combat right here.
Yeah.
Too, like, and it's very. I like that analogy you made earlier. It's very Batman-y.
We don't see many Jedi, maybe this is the only time, fight with, like, hand-to-hand combat.
I think it is. I know a lot of people don't like the grappling hook stuff here, but I liked it.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh. Not good.
Isn't he just holding on to it, though?
No, it's wrapped around his hands.
Oh, okay. This is cool. Like,
Yeah.
this is Batman to me.
Yes, very Batman. Very, very Batman Begins. See, because I think he knows that he's about to cut it or release it or whatever. Yeah, see, he gets it untied and then he uses it.
Wow.
Yeah.
God, holding on to that would hurt so bad.
Oh, that'd be terrible. It's like holding on to a fucking, like, cable or, like, fishing line.
Yeah. If you had the weather app on Kamino, do you just think it's like, it's raining always? Don't even bother looking it up?
Yeah, I think if I think you'd be more worried about, like, wind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, it's only 15-mile-an-hour winds instead of, like, 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Do you think there's a guy working in, like, the clone factory, you know, that employee we all have, who's like, so this weather, huh?
Oh, yeah. Wednesdays, huh?
I hate the guy when it rains and he goes, we
Great
needed
throw.
it, we needed it.
Yeah, we can't grow more clones without water.
We needed that rain.
I like Padme's ship too. Very sleek.
So they're on Tatooine now, right?
Yes, they're back on Tatooine or Jakku, whichever you prefer. Just didn't make any fucking sense to me.
It was very confusing.
Like, why do we have to make an entire new fucking sand planet
I know. I'm with you.
that looks the exact fucking same as Tatooine? Again, we're being incognito here, right? So, let's wear the Doctor Doom robes.
Yeah, when he's like, okay, look, we're kind of wanted, so we need to lay low. She's like, I don't have any outfit that matches that description. Yeah. Here's Watto.
Which I did not know. I really liked your fact about why he flies everywhere.
Yeah, I read that.
Paralyzed.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, that's neat. Did you say he's speaking Haitian?
Maybe. Hopefully all his family was okay after that earthquake in Haiti.
Yeah. So is he just like on tough times right now, right? He just he lost his shop.
Yeah, things have not been going well for him. Because that's why he asked him to like help him get money or something.
Little Annie.
That hat is like, it looks like a gondola driver in Italy.
Oh, I thought that was like a plate.
Maybe it is, but why is it on his head?
Safekeeping. Safekeeping. I like the shark tooth necklace he's got there.
Yep, that's great. It's a good look. If you free a slave and marry her, you have to wonder, like, does she really like me, or does she just hate being a slave?
Yeah, I think that just like translates to, instead of a slave, you're now just a sex slave.
Yeah, you're just transitioning. It is a promotion.
For sure, it's a
I'll say
promotion.
that.
For sure. You probably get benefits with it now as well. I can totally see his legs being paralyzed. They just kind of hung there.
Yeah, it's a rough look.
Okay, so here we're looking for the little hippopotamus Kim Kardashian cow things.
Now I get this scene and the episode 3 one. Is this where he has those rocket launchers that make like the guitar riff noise?
Yeah, the charges.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Oh, you think?
What was your first clue? The fact that somebody's fucking following you?
Yeah, the fact that he showed up exactly behind us.
And that's why you get eaten by...
That laugh is just awful. Like, you can't do it.
Yeah. Here they are.
I'm just trying to find the hippo one.
Seismic charges. I feel like it's going to be something you're going to have to go, like, scene by scene.
Yeah, like it's just like a little Easter egg.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's kind of a Star Wars fact. In Indiana Jones, I believe it's in Ark of the Covenant, or in the first one, whichever the fuck that's called.
Where they're going after the Ark.
Yeah, where they're going after the Ark. What is that one called? Indiana Jones.
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Raiders of the Lost Ark, yes, thank you. That when, in the scene where he falls down into the pit with all the snakes, one of the hieroglyphics is C-3PO and R2-D2.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It took me a while to find it, but I mean, what else? I didn't have
But did you?
Come on. What kind of a question is
That's
that?
pretty awesome.
Do ducks fly at night?
I know ducks fly together. By the way, check out our D2 movie commentary. Again, sound effects here are pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's definitely not the worst part of the movie.
What awful acting.
Yeah. Now that kid could have played Anakin.
Yeah, sir. Dude, his ship has insane firepower.
Yeah, why doesn't Jango used this later, like in the original series.
Well, the ship that Boba has,
It's the same.
yeah, it looks the same. Or it's like the same model.
I thought they were the same shit because he just took his dad's shit.
That must make. Yeah, it probably is then. It's good to have like a family heirloom you pass from generation to generation.
See, I would totally think you're fucked now with this thing.
I mean, heat seekers.
Yeah, it's right on his ass.
Can't go.
Flares!
Well, that's always a good idea.
Yeah. I don't get them because they're not going to be hot. I guess just because it runs into it.
Yeah, as long as it hits it.
I'm glad that we have the subtitles on for the so we know what the droids are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Beep 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 boop.
Yeah, because that could be interpreted a couple different ways.
Yeah.
People are always so cocky in movies, like, well, he's dead, obviously.
Yeah. Look, if you don't find a body, he's not dead.
Yeah.
I made that mistake 1 or 2 times before.
We all have.
Yeah.
Don't shoot yourself or beat yourself up over it.
Yeah. Look, just because you have their feet cemented in cement
Mm-hmm.
and you throw them into the river doesn't mean that they're dead.
that, yeah. So what planet is this now? Why is
Geonosis?
That's right. I forgot that's where this movie is.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like an A-wing.
Yeah, I can see that. Like a small A-wing, like a lowercase
And
A-wing.
definitely the A-wings are purple, if I remember correctly.
Yes, because the Y-wings are yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Y-wings are the ones that are really, really slow.
Yeah, they're like the bombers.
Again, most of my knowledge on how they function is from Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
A-wings are pretty fast.
Yes, not as fast as the X-wing, but they're stronger than the X-wing. Like they can take more damage than the X-wing.
And they're just harder to hit too, because the X-wing obviously with the attack foils have.
Yes. Which that's one thing I like. What do you I think we talked about this on our Force Awakens commentary, but I was drunk. I don't remember what you said. How do you like the new look X-wings in the Force Awakens?
I like them a lot.
I like them a lot too.
I really, really like them.
I like the split engine.
Mm-hmm. I was glad that they didn't, because like anytime, especially when you get a new director, it's kind of like, oh, I want to make my own new ships. And JJ just said like, people love the X-wings. Let's just tweak them a little bit.
Yeah.
Anthony Daniels, C-3PO, his second appearance in this movie, the actor Anthony Daniels.
And I'm really pissed that, well, no, he's only had one appearance. This is all fucking CGI.
It's true. Bless my circuits. Wow. Who talks like that?
C-3PO. Uncle Owen.
That is Joel Edgerton, who I'll bring up his IMDb. But
yeah, he's done some shit.
He is. He was in the movie Warrior with Tom Hardy. He wrote and starred and directed in the movie The Gift with Jason Bateman.
I don't think I knew that.
Black Mass as well, that Exodus Gods and Kings movie he was in.
Yeah, he was in that?
Yeah, he played Christian Bale's brother.
I didn't see that, but I heard good things. I heard really good things, actually.
He was also in The Great Gatsby and Zero Dark 30.
I forgot he was in those.
So quite the resume.
It all started with this.
By the way, Natalie Portman's midriff in this outfit is just too much. Dude, why can't we not have blue milk?
Yeah, I was a little upset about that. We just get like fucking iced tea without the ice.
Yeah. Clearly, no one is interested in.
So we get lukewarm. We get lukewarm tea.
It's like I noticed you haven't touched your tea. Like, yeah, it's fucking warm.
It's not hot tea, but it's not cold tea. It's just like room temperature tea.
This guy's just making excuses a mile a minute.
Yeah. Well, look, she's a slave. He doesn't care about her. Yeah, I don't. Okay, first off, I don't understand why we got blue milk to begin with.
Right.
Second off, I don't understand why we can't have blue milk now. Like, either don't have blue milk or have blue milk. You can't, like...
I just think everyone was expecting it here, and we were really disappointed.
I know I was.
Especially because her outfit is blue. That would have worked perfectly.
Yeah. It would have really brought out the blue in her eyes.
This is just like an iconic homage here to looking out on the moisture farm.
Yeah. I feel like she's a little ahead of her time with the midriff.
Yeah. She rocks the midriff a lot in this movie because obviously when they go to Geonosis, her shirt gets conveniently ripped. This is weird. Like, why are you filming the shadows?
Yeah, I don't know. So here's... I think this is really the part that solidifies the fact, like, they're an item now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't the sex scene.
I think she's going to take... They're not going to be in a relationship on Facebook, but she's going to take a single off of Facebook.
Yes. Maybe it's complicated.
That could work. It's bad CGI.
Really bad CGI. But he's face acting the fuck out of this.
Yep. I do. The Duel of the Fates is back.
Yes. Which I'm so thankful that John Williams did this, and that he again came back and did Force Awakens.
Although the Duel of the Fates, it's like really epic, and him talking to a Jawa asking for directions, it doesn't really...
Yeah, it doesn't fit the scene.
The scene, yeah.
But I still like the song.
Obi-Wan done playing Call of Duty, so he's like, all right, might as well do some work. I know my boss is going to be all over my ass. What have you done today?
Look, that's one of the pleasures of getting to work from home.
Yeah.
You get to do what you want.
Or Geonosis.
Or work from Geonosis. Yeah. Now, is this... They're on location here, right?
Yes, definitely. This was filmed on Geonosis.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Probably a 3-week shoot.
That's what I thought. Because none of this looks fake at all.
No, this is all real. It was built for the actual film.
Which, that's another thing I never understood, is like... I feel like Star Wars in general, like, regresses.
Like, in terms of the filmmaking or like the technology?
Technology. So
yeah, I do too.
You have droids, you have all these sophisticated planets, Coruscant, these awesome ships, and then in the originals, it's not as cool. And you're using humans, not droids, you're using the stormtroopers, and then, I'm not going to say you take another step back in Force Awakens, but you take a step in a different direction.
Yeah, I think luckily for Lucas, the thing that keeps it from being really, really glaring and distracting is that the majority of the original films focused on the rebellion, and kind of their whole shtick is we're strapped for resources.
Yeah, they're
what
stuck.
What the fuck is this guy? Mr. Freeze is in the alliance we have here?
Yep, guys, check out our Batman and Robin commentary.
There's Alan Tudyk. Not really.
So how do they not capture the Viceroy in Phantom Menace?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Big plot hole.
I have a fun fact here about Christopher Lee, the late Christopher Lee, rest in peace, who was a tremendous character actor, and was in many, many great films over the course of his career and life. But in this movie, of course, he plays Count Dooku, who is the main villain and is mentioned in the opening crawl. Yet he does not make his first appearance until 76 minutes into the film.
Wow.
Which is kind of interesting.
That is very interesting.
That you have someone mentioned that early and doesn't actually show up till this late.
And this right here, again, fantastic scene. It works. It plays well to the story and the growth. I think, and you and me have talked about this off air as well. I think part of the problem with the prequels is that we already knew the end game, and we're working towards this end game.
Right.
And it was kind of they focused too much over here, and then we jump to that end game.
Really kind of a sad scene here with his mother.
Very sad.
Another fun fact here that I want to point out because it's about to happen, but when Anakin, spoiler alert, is slaughtering the Tusken Raiders, Qui-Gon's voice can be heard in the background. And this is no accident according to George Lucas and Star Wars canon. Qui-Gon's Force Ghost tried to stop Anakin's rage, but failed. And that's where I think Geiger and myself, and we'll see if you do or not, totally side with the dark side. They just kidnapped, probably raped, and slaughtered my mother. They're going to die. I'm sorry. They're not, like, they don't deserve any mercy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think I'm as dark side as you guys, but I'm definitely pro dark side. I think they've got some stuff going for them.
If Qui-Gon tries to tell me in this instance, hey, let's try and talk to the...
I think Qui-Gon was part of the... Like, Qui-Gon's like an independent.
Yeah.
Like, you have the dark side is... And this is no political talk or anything. Let's say the dark side is Republicans and the light side is Democrats. Qui-Gon is an independent. He's right down the middle.
Yeah.
And I think that's who I resonate with.
Well, we've talked in the episode 1 commentary about how a lot of the Jedi tap into the dark side conveniently when they need it.
Yes.
Obi-Wan did it to beat Darth Maul. You know Luke used it in Jedi.
Oh, of course he used it in Jedi.
And even though this is part of his turn and his transformation, but Anakin's about to go heavy on the dark side right here.
Yeah, he put a little bit more than the tip in it right here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he was balls deep in it yet, but he's definitely got some of the shaft.
This face acting actually works for me.
It works very well.
See, I want to see that scene. I'm with Geiger. That would be so sick. And you would like really feel his rage.
Yeah.
Especially if you saw him, because if they don't want to show him kill, like he did with the younglings in episode 3, but show him walk up to a group of kids and basically like pull the lightsaber out to where he's about to cross that place that he can't.
Which that's another scene in Revenge that really works for me as well.
Yep.
It's almost an extension of that scene.
Master Anakin, what do we do? He's like, well, you're going to get fried by my lightsaber. That's what you do.
He's like, look, not going to lie, it's probably going to hurt a little.
It's going to hurt you a lot worse than it's going to hurt me.
A lot worse than it's going to hurt me. But don't worry, I'm going to be hurt later.
Emotionally.
Yeah, emotionally. And
but you were actually getting
I'm like not crispy bacon, but I'm like floppy warm bacon.
Yeah. It's still bacon though.
Yeah, it's still
at the
bacon.
end of the day. This is Obi-Wan trying to fix his old fucking TV right before the game.
Yeah.
He's like, I know I get CBS on this. Hang on.
Yeah. When you got nachos burning in the oven.
This looks like fake hair too.
Let's go back. Can we go back? No, wrong back. R4. I actually like R4. He's cute.
Maybe that's real hair. That's real hair, I think.
Well, I don't know. No, the top part looks real, but the back, the little mullet part, looks like it might be a clip-on.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, the gladiator scene, I remember his hair looking really bad in that scene. That does look like a wig.
Yeah, I think that's fake hair.
Yeah, you see how the wind is blowing it?
Mm-hmm.
Ewan McGregor has good flow typically. We're not seeing it right here.
Yeah, lots of body, lots of volume.
What do you think he uses?
What's the one that gives you an orgasm?
Tresemme?
Tresemme or herbal essence?
Natural botanical.
Yeah.
You got the urge to herbal.
Oh yeah.
R2 and R4 are just sexting right here.
Yeah, I guess I've always assumed R4 is a he, or R2 is a he. But what happened to R3?
Yeah, maybe R3 was one of the ones that got blown off of the ship.
I bet you're right.
Padme just getting bluer and bluer outfits here.
Here's another question. Obviously, they bury Shmi here.
Mm-hmm.
How does Luke not ask who the fuck is Shmi? That's his grandma.
Yeah, I wonder if Lars told him who Shmi was. Probably. Not Lars, Owen. Sorry.
Owen, yeah.
Lars is Owen's father.
Right.
This looks exactly like...
Just like it.
It probably is. It's the same room, I bet. Right, they're at the moisture farm, aren't they? That's pretty cool. I never noticed that. Like how he has a World War I submarine radar in there.
It's important.
Finally, the blue milk shows up.
That's more blue, though, than real blue milk.
Yeah, they didn't get the recipe right.
It's probably like blue milk concentrate, and they just didn't add enough water.
Or maybe like in A New Hope, they're drinking skim, and this is like 2% whole.
Yeah, this is probably whole blue milk, whereas they're drinking 2%. I bet you're right.
See, this scene, the past 30 minutes of Anakin have really, really worked for me, but this again kind of falls flat. Lucas pushes the gas too hard on a lot of these scenes where he wants him to be angsty.
Yeah, I feel like if you pulled back and had him more light side here, and not so angry and vengeful and crying, I think it would work better. Because it's not as drastic of a fall to the dark side. It's kind of peaks and valleys.
See, right here when he's talking about being powerful and everything like that, I think he should have focused this more on his disdain for the Jedi, where he said, like, why did they take me from my mother? Like, the stuff that Geiger talked about that he loved so much about this that really didn't get into, that would have worked really well. He's like, I could have been here to protect her. Why did they take me away? And now, like, they won't even let me love. And that would have worked way better than, like, I will be the most powerful. Like, that's not what you're feeling right now. You just lost your mom.
I think it would have been cool is if they had R2 come into this room and had him transmit Obi-Wan's message in that room.
Such an homage.
Because it would have been just like A New Hope. I think that would have been really cool.
The face acting here is pretty good. As good as can be.
And this is going to be a really bad thing.
Padme doesn't want to admit how turned on she is that he just killed all the sand people.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, that's really hot.
But he's not a Jedi yet, right? Because he has the rat tail.
I know, he's been, like, throwing that out. I guess he's a... Yeah, I don't know. Do they only get to say Jedi when they're an actual knight?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah, here's the thing. If the council heard him say that, what would they... Would they be like, hey...
They'd be like, let's
don't
pump
be
the brakes.
calling
Let's like, you're still JV squad.
They'd be like, if he went back, he's like, this is my girlfriend. She's like, whoa.
Yeah, she's like, hey, we've been on like 3 dates. We haven't even hooked up yet.
And one was like a group date. That didn't even...
Doesn't even count. I like the idea of a moisture farm. You're on a planet that is nothing but flat sand, desert, hot as fuck, and like they have to survive somehow.
Can we just say like what needs to be said? So Owen, played by Joel Edgerton, pretty good looking guy. He could have done better than Beru. She looks like a turtle in the face.
I think so. Like a turtle in the face. In your face!
Now Padme also needs to realize that we are on...
The eyebrows.
Yeah,
that's her problem.
That is a problem. The nose isn't doing it for me either.
Yeah.
But again, Tatooine, I mean, how many chicks are
here,
I mean,
really? Look, beggars can't be choosers. She's a hard worker.
Living in a desert, they dress with a lot of layers.
Yeah, I think that's something like to block the sun, maybe.
I mean,
and I bet it gets cold at night.
Yeah, probably.
It's not humid; it's dry.
It's very dry.
So it's a dry heat.
First time, well, was R2... No, this is the first time we've seen them together, right? I think this is the
first time we've seen them together, yeah. They might have been together in Phantom for like a minute. Okay, why would the queen / the senator know how to fucking do that? Wouldn't Anakin know how to do that?
I mean, yeah, she's like his secretary now.
I don't think I ever realized it was Viceroy Gunray.
Well, I was confused in the first one which one was the Viceroy, because there were two of them always. Oh, shit.
Yeah, we done fucked up. Look, I love Yoda. Nothing against Yoda. He always kind of says the fucking obvious, though.
I'll tell you what, Windu in these movies I just really don't like. His plans are... Basically, all he cares about is trying to, like, make Anakin look like an idiot.
Yeah, which he does that on his own, so... Like, I wasn't that upset when he got thrown out the window. I'm not going to say when Windu died, because we don't know that for fact. He could just be little Nubs McGee running around.
Absolutely. That's hot. She's a ride or die chick. You can see Leia in her.
Yeah, you definitely can. Now, as much shit as we give Carrie Fisher for her looks, she's a much better actor.
Agreed.
Like that line right there, like, and I'm going after Obi-Wan. Like, that's just not good.
No, it's not.
Like, I'm not, and yes, she's doing what she can with the dialogue.
This Horn guy, basically, the people that Palpatine surrounds himself with are total fucking losers. Like, look at this dude. That's where Jar Jar's like, oh, well, I could fuck everything up if we need me to.
Jar Jar's like, Misa, you guys need things fucked up? Misa can do that. Misa,
Is Mace Windu still in the room?
I think so.
God, Jar Jar's getting played like a fucking fiddle. Misa gonna ruin everything. Geonosis has kind of a cool look to it.
Yeah. I was like playing on Star Wars Battlefront. I was like playing on Geonosis. Might have been Battlefront 2. They were both.
Do you ever get to see the Colosseum part of that level?
Yeah, there's a little bit like it's like it's not like you get like the big part of it, but it's almost like a side room of it that you can go in.
Okay.
But it's mainly like running around the rock work and like out in the open, like where the actual Clone Wars started.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And those little like mini Death Star things that go up, you can fight those.
This is where Dooku was like, I really want to help you out, man.
He's like, look, we can be pals. I'm just gonna need you to sign your soul over to the dark side. No big deal. Qui-Gon would have done it.
Yeah.
So Qui-Gon was his apprentice, or is it the other way around?
Qui-Gon was his apprentice, I believe.
I kind of like the little prison thing they've got him in right here too.
Yeah, that is cool. I love how he's like, Qui-Gon would never help him. He's like, don't be so sure, man. Like, he used the dark side occasionally as well.
Yeah.
This thing looks like if you're having like back spasms, they can just lock you in it and like just straighten me out.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Dooku here is being straight up with him.
Yeah, I mean he's just putting the cards on the table. I said, look, ball's in your court now, Obi-Wan.
This is all the truth.
He hasn't lied to him at all.
That's a mistake, man.
I will say I'm not a big fan of Dooku. he's kind of a patsy. He just comes off as, look, being a little bitch, and then the way that Anakin takes his head off in the next one is just, I would expect more.
But see, right here, this is candid. He's almost like, look, bro, I got in too deep. I want out. Like, I'm with you. Let's fuck up the Sith. And Obi-Wan just doesn't believe him.
Yeah.
Also, Jar Jar starts this speech off with Dello Feligets. I think we see E.T. again.
I was going to say E.T. is here, and then there was the
ugly.
Wookiees are here too, I think, right?
Yes, I do believe so.
So the crisis never abated, apparently. There's Greedos homeboys.
Well, things. So when they stage in the third one, obviously, like they make it look like the Jedi tried to overthrow the Republic.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he basically says, like, now that the Jedi Knights are no longer the peacekeeping force here, I'm reformatting into the Galactic Empire. Basically, like, yeah, I'm just gonna always do this now. It is a good plan.
It worked.
I've heard a lot of people online, and please chime in on our social media channels, Facebook and Twitter, with some of your thoughts on this. But the ways that this plan is stupid, a lot of people have said some of the things that fall apart with it. But basically, he got the only person who was smart enough to see through his bullshit, Padme. He got her off of the planet and got her to replace herself with someone who's an idiot and very easily influenced in Jar Jar. And then he created such panic and fear among everyone else that they were just like, dude.
Do you think he used any Sith powers or Jedi powers, like mind trick?
That's a good question.
Jar Jar?
I think he had to, yeah.
I mean, yes, Jar Jar's stupid, but is he that dumb?
And if you're him, why even take the risk? If you have the power of the dark side, like, let's just use it and make sure that this guy does what we want.
It's like in Survivor. Don't go home with immunity out of your pocket.
She's kidding herself. Still don't know why C-3PO had to come on this particular.
I think he's supposed to be the comic relief.
Well, you know what? I'll say this. Better than Jar Jar.
Yeah, but, like, being silent is better than Jar Jar.
True. Fart noises over and over are just better than Jar Jar.
There are a lot of things that beat fart noises, though.
Yeah, that was a bad.
That was a really bad
comparison.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be a mechanic? You're fluent in over, what, 4 million forms of communication? What do you mean you're programmed to understand humans?
It just said that R2 did raspberries.
It said that twice.
Fart noises. I don't hear fart noises.
Oh, it's raspberries like the...
No, I think raspberries is like...
Really?
Yeah.
This scene is really cool. Like the way that all the Geonosians are actually like on the walls.
Yeah. It's actually kind of creepy, like, when you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, he'll just slice through these guys like butter. You just chop that dude in half.
Yeah.
On the DVD of this, there's a special feature of them, like how they filmed this. It's just awful looking. Like they're on this obviously all green set, and they like he's like, "Run now, jump over something."
Is it an actual conveyor belt that they're on?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like the CGI took a step back between the Phantom Menace and this. And maybe it's just because they use so much.
Yeah, I mean, it was just not overdone in The Phantom Menace, really. How did they get separated? I'm confused.
Well, like, she fell, and then he jumped later, and then he was fighting some shit.
Do we know what they're making here, also?
They're making droids.
Oh, okay.
So you can see them right there.
It looked like the one was making, like, DVD players.
Well, yeah, that's for the ships.
Sorry, guys. Had a technical difficulty there.
This part really pisses me off, too, is C-3PO being so CGI, and, like, he's too human-like.
Yeah, again, that's part of it. Like, they didn't, like you said, they didn't have Anthony. And here we go. Oh, God. Like, I just can't, and this is part of the problem when Lucas has no one to check him. When he brings this up, if there is not an executive producer or anyone who will challenge him with the story to say, like, do you think it's a little weird that R2 has never done that in any of the other 3 movies we've seen? You don't think people find that odd? No, he's a droid. Yeah, we know, George. This is out of control.
Flying around. Like,
and again, do you think that he just painted himself in a corner with the writing where he was like, how does R2 get to there? And they're like, okay, maybe he just can fly now?
I would have been fine with them just not explaining it. And this whole thing with C-3PO getting a different head. Like, this had to be because, like you guys were talking about in the Phantom Menace, like, it was made for kids. Like, this has to be why that was in there.
I mean, this feels like a different movie than the one we were just watching where Anakin slaughtered the Tusken Raiders because his mom died.
I do like Force Jump.
Yeah, that's a great one. That hurts.
Yeah.
I think someone broke down on some blog somewhere, basically like how many times R2 has saved all the characters' lives. It's quite a bit.
Oh, I bet it's 20. In essentially 6 movies.
I mean, in The Phantom Menace, obviously he saves all their lives once. Of course, in A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
The dramatic zoom in on her face.
Oh boy. It's all gonna end.
R2 just sticking his dick in things, making shit happen.
Ask questions later. This is pretty cool. He loses lightsaber all the time.
Yeah, he loses the shit out of some lightsabers.
Oh, you didn't just see that thing get chopped in half?
I could have lived without that line. Like, not again, okay, that's fine. But
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's gonna kill me, like, that was not necessary.
This is a little too serious to be making that comment.
Yeah.
Anakin. All CGI again.
The droidicas are fucking badass.
They're awesome. One of the coolest things that came out of the prequels. I like this scene a lot. I've said it off pod many times. The gladiator scene works for me. I think it's really cool, mainly because it was a different type of action and battle scene than we've got to see before. The Jedi are basically stripped of their lightsabers.
Well, and I like that they use animals and kind of the beasts.
Yeah. There's George. He's going to show it.
God.
He's going to not show us here, but he's going to tell us.
Ding!
Yeah.
Sorry, Geiger, we don't have your bell with us.
Geiger did say that he regretted that he could not bring the bell onto the pod. The bell is now going to basically be like the 6th chair.
Yeah, that was. Let's be honest. I would move the bell into the first chair.
Yeah.
It really worked for me as a spectator on the Phantom Menace. The bell worked for me.
I think that's just really, really bad writing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go check my MySpace real quick while this scene's going on.
Yeah, I'm going to get on Zanga.
I was actually about to say Zanga before I said MySpace, but I was like, I'm not gonna go back that far.
How many people do you think are still use Zanga in the whole world? We'll say the U.S. Who knows? Maybe Sweden just got Zanga or something.
Sweden's ahead of their time. If anything, it's like the Philippines or Taiwan that's using Zanga now.
The old score, obviously. We're big score fanatics on this pod.
Why would they not take her little utility belt away from her?
It's just cocky.
And also, her hair looks like a funnel cake.
Yeah, the hair they're trying to get pretty ridiculous. He's being a dick.
Look, I really like Obi-Wan in all of these. I thought that he was the only one that did a really good job in all 3 of them.
Why is he getting pissy with Anakin? It's not his fault you're fucking tied up. Dooku was actually offering you a sweet deal.
He's probably regretting not taking it at this point.
Yeah.
So who's the 4th pillar for?
Maybe they just always have 4 traditionally. Maybe this wasn't built specifically for the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I like this.
You know what would have been cool if they had the Rathtar here? From Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
It would have been a cool little...
Not Return, from the new one. That's what you're talking about, right?
What's the new one? What's the one called?
The Rathtar. That's the one.
What's the thing that Luke fights in Return of the Jedi then? When he goes to Jabba's palace?
Oh, the little dinosaur thing.
Yeah, that thing would have been cool.
That would have been cool, yeah.
If you're listening at home, again, please help us out. Let us know what called. I like that Obi-Wan fights the one with all the legs.
The praying mantis thing. Yeah. And Padme gets a little kitty.
This is pretty good CGI. At least it was right there.
Yeah, it definitely has its moments.
These chains are like butter.
Yeah. She doesn't have enough mustard on it.
It was kind of erotic.
Yeah, that was... I'm not sure if she was getting off or...
The Viceroy bet on this. He's got the Beast plus 3.5.
I was going to say, he took the over, right?
Yeah, I think that was probably a good bet. She's about to just fuck this thing up. Glad to see the Viceroy hasn't changed.
Whimpering, snarling.
Those seem to be opposing ideals. Obi-Wan has a really cool move here. One of these dudes charges at him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's right here. Love that. This is the Force, right? Or is this just
Yes,
him?
I think he's using the Force, mind control on him.
That was just unnecessary.
He almost looked like shocked at himself that he was able to do that.
Yeah. The Geonosis, how much do you think, like, lower level tickets to this were? Like on StubHub.
Yeah, I mean,
Day
probably,
of event, you're on Geonosis, you want to go,
I mean,
2 seats.
I mean, it's got to be at least 30,000 Republic
Credits?
Credits,
Yeah, that's what
it's got to be. Ugh.
Cringeworthy.
How many do you think this stadium holds?
That's a good question. I mean, they've had like the Gladiator Championships here. I think that was like 75,000. Geonosins.
Yeah, but they've also expanded since then.
That's true.
So
They
maybe
added
like-
the whole club level.
Yeah, so maybe
which
like
is nice.
100,000.
I wish they had like
105?
corporate sponsors. You see like a Pepsi sign up. Yeah, now they're playing for real. Let's use the actual competent things. That
They're like, okay, so this is now we just have to get down to business. Again, the droidicas, the way that they can just roll everywhere, so versatile.
First time we really get to see Mace Windu in action.
Mm-hmm. How is Jango Fett not freaking the fuck out right now?
Yeah, there's a lightsaber.
There's a lightsaber to your neck. I would be freaking out. I kind of like all the different styles and the way to like hold a lightsaber and to kind of like fight with a sword. They kind of exemplify that here. I'll do so. So Samuel L. Jackson.
He beats fire off of his cloak. You see some really weak Jedi in this scene.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool though because the Clone Wars have been referenced multiple times. We'll finally get to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least like traffic after the match, you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Some Geonosis that live like outside of the city probably takes like an hour to get home typically. That's horrible CGI.
It's so bad. Ugh. I like this scene though. Kind of the melee battle.
This scene is cool. And he has, especially like as a teenager, when the clone army shows up, it gets me pretty jacked.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of kind of like the clone army and where they came from, in episode 8, do you think we will finally get to learn sort of like where Finn came from and how he started working for the First Order?
I don't know. I know there's a lot. I wasn't a huge fan of Finn's character, but I know there's a lot
I
of
wasn't
people.
either.
There's a lot of people that liked him, so I feel like they. I don't know because they have so much to explain with Rey and Luke that they may not go into it that much.
And obviously Kylo Ren and
Right.
Snoke, him finishing his training there. But Finn doesn't really know anything about his parents either. He was taken at a young age.
Yeah. I don't think we will. I think that they'll develop his character more, but not any more backstory.
Do you think it'll be like him and Poe Dameron working together most of the film?
Yes, I
That'd
do.
be cool.
Yeah. I think I would be really happy with this. I wouldn't be mad at all if they did Finn and Poe Dameron as kind of Han and Chewie.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously Chewie can. Such a bitch way to die.
Really is.
Obviously Chewie can't talk.
I love how clean the lightsaber cuts off someone's head.
Yeah.
Because it cauterizes his neck.
Wish I had that tomorrow for Thanksgiving.
Or Man, just be slicing up the turkey with
Just
that bag roll.
slice, slice, slice.
It's not
So
funny.
bad.
It's not funny.
So I think the Viceroy is the one in the red. The red.
Yeah, yeah. The other guy's just like his number 2.
Yeah.
Gets him coffee and stuff. George is going to the well one too many times here.
The smile on that guy.
I mean, you can tell that guy just sucks as a Jedi. He's like, man, I'm having a great day.
Yeah. He's like, I've used the Force like 3 times.
Yeah, this is great. I cannot wait to call my mom after this.
Yeah. I actually still giggle at that one. like in a bad way. Things are just out to
Obi-Wan
get
should
you.
just be able to fuck this dude up. Yeah.
Just fucking chopping down trees. I like this part.
This is cool.
That was totally real here there.
Yeah. Don't worry, he's also got like a plug thing that he can use.
Like a suction cup.
You're going to strain something. He's a droid. That doesn't even make sense. This is such a drag that he actually just said.
Yes, he did.
Oh my god. George Lucas is like, we might as well double down with the bad jokes.
Eventually it's going to be funny.
I'm quite beside myself. That is just cringeworthy. Ronnie Cycli, our legal counsel, has a cardboard cutout of Padme in this outfit at his house.
Yes, he does. Probably one of her better outfits.
For sure, for sure.
It's practical, which I like.
Oh, look who it is. Mr. Conehead got fucking kidnapped in the war. Yet he has no problem passing judgment on everyone else.
Technically, is this the war yet?
This is the battle, I guess you could say.
Yeah. The war doesn't start until Yoda says, the Clone Wars started, they have.
Begun they have. Took him long enough.
I feel like you could have heard them coming a little bit sooner.
Oh, these things just wipe them
Yeah,
out.
they just wait and lace to them.
So when Yoda went to pick up the clone army, what do you think he had to put down, like a 10% deposit? Because there's no way he's going to be able to pay in full for these things.
Well, I feel like they would have put down a deposit when they went to create him.
Okay, so 10%. So what does he have to pay when he
Like,
picks them up?
to pick him up, like, he has to pay the balance.
Damn. Really?
Yeah, I mean, I would think so, right? But
Do they have a card on file? Is he like, card on file can you use?
Yeah, but they don't take MasterCard.
I'm sure the card that Sifo Dyas used has been expired by now. Although they have Samuel L. Jackson, so they can just get the Capital One Venture card. You can get him a deal.
10% back, or what is it?
Yeah, gets cash back.
Cash back on every purchase.
Well, it's groceries, gas, and
and clones.
Yeah, and clones. So clones, you get like 3%. George is trying to show us emotion now, even though the kid who is playing Boba Fett had like 2 lines.
And doesn't even know what emotion is.
This stuff is cool.
Yeah, I love this scene. Like I said, I actually like the movie. There's a good movie somewhere in here. I know we say that a lot.
Yeah, no, that's a good
There is a good movie somewhere in this movie.
That's a good way to describe it.
You take a few things out, you change a couple of things. There's a good movie here. And I think that goes back to, I don't remember if it was Geiger or Cycli that said it, but one of them said it on The Phantom Menace, like, Lucas is a 1,000-foot view guy. He's not going to be able to fill in all the lines. He's going to say, hey, here's the outline. These are major plot points to hit. You guys connect the dots and have somebody else connect the dots.
Yeah, that's his strength for sure.
Yes.
Did you like or dislike how they showed the little tease of the Death Star?
I liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
I liked it. Again, the whole point of these prequels is connecting them to the originals, which, again, we know what the end game is, so they have to sprinkle these little things in there for it to make sense. That was one that I thought was very well placed.
Yeah, it's just a little homage.
Yeah. And I think that that's something that I'm a little, like, I'm super excited for Rogue One, don't get me wrong, but I think it may fall victim to, we know what the end game is.
Yeah.
They're gonna get the plans. So I think that fitting that in and writing that story of how they get them, it may fall victim to, we already know what the end is, and we're gonna be like, really, this is the route you guys are taking?
It is tough when you have like a small window to fit a story into.
Correct. Now, based on the trailers, I think it looks phenomenal.
So now this thing kind of looks like a very, very miniaturized Death Star. It's just like a little...
Yeah, I can see that.
Little prequel here, precursor to some AT-ATs. Or whatever the ones are when they're on Hoth. Although it's kind of interesting, they get a clone army, yet we don't really know where they got the $1 trillion budget to spend on these, artillery and robots. And what a shock the Viceroy's being a fucking negative Nancy. This just shows you how clueless Dooku is. Like, there's no reason to lie to this guy. He still doesn't know that his master and the plan that was just set in place by the Republic are actually the same thing. Now, of course, they've shown us the Death Star 17 times, so we get it. A lot of explosions in this movie. I think the explosion budget was really...
I never understood explosions in space. Because if, like...
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because in order to have fire and explosion, you need oxygen, but yet space, there's a lack of oxygen. So
not a lack of, there's no oxygen. This is just funny to picture Christopher Lee like on this.
I would love to see the raw footage of him like just sitting on like a fucking bicycle on a green screen.
Oh my god!
Just like, and then have Lucas going, "All right, now turn left, lean to the left a little bit more."
You're doing great, Chris.
I need some more emotion. Too much emotion now.
Why is there emotion, George? I'm on a fucking speeder. So one of these bad girls about to come down real quick.
See, I feel like that would have done a lot more damage to everything around it. Like, as soon as they hit the ground, they're like, fuck. Mm-hmm. We done fucked up.
Like, we didn't think that through.
Yeah.
We didn't think through the next phase of this. Are those droids shooting their own droids?
Yeah, that's what I was like. Again, because you can't see anything because of the dust. Like, everybody's just shooting aimlessly. Like that's got to be counterproductive.
You don't have any lasers on this thing?
That might be a wig right there.
I think that is a wig.
Yeah, that might be a wig. I like this game.
Yeah, it is a fun one.
Where's the wig? Look, this is on her for not holding on. Obi-Wan right there, I feel like with that line, he knows, like, there's some extracurricular activity going on.
He knows that he's getting it in.
Yeah.
This is where he's like,
Not be a little bitch?
This is basically where he's like, who likes who more? You like her way more than she likes you.
Yoda knows too. So, do you like obviously after they remastered or whatever the fuck they call it, when they re-released the originals in theaters prior to the prequels or after the prequels, I think, and they added Hayden Christensen to the Ghost as a Ghost Jedi or whatever at the end. Do you like that they added him in?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was cool because that's the only Anakin that we know.
Yes. Well, if you watch the original on VHS from back in the day, it's a different guy.
Like an older dude.
Yes. And I like that they changed it.
Yeah.
Just a little bitch, man.
That's just beyond. That's not
do you like that Dooku can do the lasers or the lightning?
Yeah. See, I feel like Dooku was again just a guy like they told us he was a big deal, but they never gave us a reason to actually believe that.
Yeah. I do like his lightsaber how it's curved. Have you ever noticed that?
Like the handle? Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Again, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. And this is aside from the CGI with Yoda, the lightsaber scenes in the prequels are phenomenal.
Yep. Anakin, you got to get up, bro.
Yeah. Look, we all have aches and pains at this part of the season.
Yeah, no one's 100%.
No one's 100% going into the playoffs. I was curious about this too. Like, how does that clone know? Like, she's a big deal. Like, I need to listen to her. Like, wouldn't he just be
even
like?
Even the clone's probably just like, this is a hot chick. Whatever you want. I'll totally. You want a drink or like what are you drinking?
Vodka cranberry.
She's like, we're in the middle of the fucking desert, but yeah, I'll take a vodka cranberry.
Again, I love the force jump.
See, this could have been
this had so much potential.
They threw this in the trailer too, and I felt really cheated by it because there it lasted 8 seconds.
Yeah. And again, it's Anakin's lightsaber that gets fucked up. I do like this too. It pays homage to Empire with you just see the red and the green silhouettes.
Yeah.
Or red and blue, excuse me.
And the lights were like going out in the bottom of Bespin.
Yes.
Oh.
It's kind of a bitch way to lose your arm. Now, do you like that he lost his arm or not? Because I feel like it's too similar. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's too.
And this one
too Luke.
This one didn't even have any gravity to it. I mean, his arm just got it wasn't like when Luke lost his to Vader or anything.
Yeah. Like, he literally just sucks at sword fighting.
When you were watching this, did you know at this point that Yoda was about to bust out a lightsaber?
No.
I didn't either.
No, I had no idea.
Do you like this scene?
I love the force power scene. I love this.
What about when Yoda starts fighting him?
Like...
with a lightsaber and flipping all over the place.
When I first saw it, I liked it. Honestly, the more times I see it, the less I like it.
That's exactly how
I appreciate it from a CGI and like a computer generated aspect. I appreciate the work and the visuals that went into it. But as far as a storyline or is it necessary? Nah. Like, we know Yoda's powerful. We don't need to see him jumping around doing flips and shit.
I love how Yoda's like, the dark side I sense in you. Like, yeah, no shit,
This
bro.
part gave me a boner.
That is cool. This is just two master craftsmen doing what they do best.
Yeah. Yoda just, like, catches it. Like, no big deal.
Yeah. He's like, I eat that shit for breakfast.
Yeah. It's a fucking... You hung that slider out for me. I'm just going to take it.
I love how he
I
uses
love the Force.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Especially because it's so unnecessary. It's just such a show-off move. Did you kind of want him to have a different colored lightsaber? Although green makes... I mean, he's green.
Yeah, no, I think green was perfect for him.
Plus, they did have to do this to set up his lightsaber fight in Revenge of the Sith.
Yes. Just like spider monkeying everywhere.
He would be tough to fight.
Oh, for sure. He's so small.
So now we kind of know the lineage. Dooku was Yoda's Padawan. Qui-Gon was his. Obi-Wan was his. Anakin was his.
Yes. And can we count Luke as a Padawan? He was never really a Padawan.
Yeah, I wouldn't count Luke.
I wouldn't count Luke in, because if he was, is he Obi-Wan's or is he Yoda's? Because I feel like
Obi-Wan introduced him to the Force, but Yoda really taught him what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, I think Yoda taught him what he was doing. Going back now, like thinking about it, when Yoda dies, like that's a powerful, powerful moment.
Yeah, you don't realize it at the time.
Yeah, you don't realize it at the time, but that's one thing that I think these prequels did do a good job with this too. Is like we learn how powerful Yoda is and who Yoda is, and the significance of Luke training with Yoda.
Yeah, because in Empire and Return of the Jedi, we really only get him because he comes in halfway through Empire and dies halfway through Jedi.
Yeah.
He's really only in like a movie, so to get to see his influence on not only the Jedi but the whole universe, was really, really cool to see. And obviously, Yoda's just an awesome character. The more you get of him, the better.
Yeah. There's this little Yoda toy that they have now. My nephew has that like it interacts with you. It's really cool.
Really?
Yeah, like you talk to it and it talks back to you.
Does it give you sage advice on how to live your life?
Yes, it does.
That's good. I should just take that around to me, like when I'm at the bar about to make bad decisions.
Look, Yoda's always going to let you make a bad decision. You're not going to learn unless you make
shots
a bad
we
decision.
should take.
Yes.
Happy hour still is. This is like what you would call like the rural part of Coruscant, if there is one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the industrial side.
Yeah, we're outside of the city now. This is where real estate is a lot cheaper. Families have been moving out here the past few years.
Yeah. There's some nice developments.
There is. The schools need a little work, but there's definitely some good housing.
I kind of like Dooku's ship here, too. With, like, the marble that they're sitting in. So Dooku knows that the Emperor is...
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier. Either he's lying to both sides. I don't know. Lord Tyrannus. I always forget that he was called that.
Yeah, I did too.
I wish we could see like when they sat down and planned all this out. Like I need this and this and this to happen. And clearly he was working with Dooku and Darth Maul at the same time. He had to have been, right?
Had to. Well, I don't think Dooku is an apprentice. I think Dooku is just a...
Dooku called him master on Geonosis, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he...
I don't think that means that he's like... I think you have... The Emperor is like the Jedi Council. They're all masters. And then you have Dooku, who's just a Sith Lord, not a Master Lord. And then Darth Maul was an apprentice.
Got it. Well, yeah, we all lived, bro.
Now the war has begun.
Yeah, now that's like the ding bell. Let's go. This looks like the Clone Wars show on Disney XD.
Which I actually enjoyed it.
It's a good show.
Yeah. I think Rebels is better,
I agree.
but this is still Clone Wars is definitely still a good show. This is very First Order-esque.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Smits from Alderaan just thinking like, man, we done fucked up. This is not what we should have done.
Yeah. I think it's very fitting that they have the this score.
Yeah.
When they're the good guys, but yet they have the bad guys score to it. Very, very interesting. How do you feel about Anakin's hand, the way that they did it?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
It looks like really gangly and like not.
And it's like, it almost looks like those things at the end of Phantom Menace, the little like jelly thing that Padme gives to them. I don't know.
It looks like one of those really shitty claw machine things at Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
That never can grab the thing.
Yeah, not a fan. So they're officially married now. So they went from, in a matter of, what, a few weeks, maybe?
Things moved quickly.
Not an item to being married.
C-3PO was there, probably the best man, probably planned the shittiest bachelor party ever.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine.
But he knows 4 million different languages.
R2 brought Coke, and C-3PO was like, R2, how dare you?
R2 brought Coke.
He's like, come on, like, what's his bachelor party, bro?
He's like, look, you only live once. YOLO.
You only YOLO once. And that is Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, second of 3 in the prequel trilogy that George Lucas wrote and directed. If you are still with us, thank you guys.
You're disgusting.
You're a sick person, as we always say, and we love it, and thank you guys
George
so much.
Lucas's name has been on 4 of the 5 first credits.
Yeah, it should just say, like, guy with huge dick, George Lucas, in the credits, because he needs more. So as we usually like to do at the end of these, just a quick, sort of like a fun... We like to make something up, basically, like projecting things out for the future. So for this one, obviously, Hayden Christensen was cast as a young Anakin Skywalker. Everyone said he's about to be the hottest thing since sliced bread. His career was going to take off. And based on the critic and fan reception of this movie, that just did not happen. So, Brian, I think it would be a good idea for us to do what we very frequently do, which is put ourselves in a position to help him. So if we were Hayden Christensen's agent, what would you do to help get him back in the public consciousness, help get people talking about him again, and if possible, how are we going to get him a fucking movie role?
Okay, so this movie came out in 2002. Revenge of the Sith was like 2005, maybe 2006, somewhere around there. I think 2005. We're talking, how do we get him relevant today, 2016?
Today, in 2016.
I think
he's cold as ice right now.
I think it has to be a sex tape.
Oh, okay.
It has to be a sex tape.
Does
maybe with him and like a Lindsay Lohan.
Those are two people that both need the bump. People helping people. We can reach out to Lindsay's camp.
Yeah, I mean, you know she'd be down.
Oh, that's not the issue. Yeah, it's just will it help her?
Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt her at this point, right?
Very true. Things can't get any worse for Lindsay Lohan.
I mean, I think a sex tape is the only way to become relevant again, and it's worked in the past, and
it has. I have sort of a different approach. I like yours. Mine is pretty simple. Hayden Christensen needs to go to drug rehab.
Get him with the drugs.
He needs to be found basically dead in like an Atlantic City hotel room. He needs to go to drug rehab.
No, not hotel, motel room.
Motel room. Beg your pardon. He can't afford one where like the entrance to the room is not outside.
Like this motel doesn't even have sheets on the bed.
No. So he needs to be found basically half dead, OD'd on coke, and going to rehab. And then more importantly, he needs to get a reality show on the rehab.
With Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew will work with him.
I need Dr. Drew's help here. So First thing I'm doing is reaching out to Dr. Drew and asking him, how can you help him? Can you get us the drugs?
Can you take time off of doing Teen Mom to help us out with this?
Yeah, come on, Dr. Drew. I understand that's a full-time job. Like, 16-year-olds aren't going to stop getting pregnant anytime soon, but my boy needs you. So that's it. I think we solved the problem for Hayden Christensen. One or the other, or actually
probably both.
do both.
Yeah.
Let's just cast a wide net and see what works.
Maybe the drugs, then the sex tape. Sex tape gets leaked. Go, shit, I gotta change some things. Reality show rehab. You'll get something.
One of these things will hit and resonate with people. Worst case scenario, we get you on the cover of a couple People magazines. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll make some money off that.
For sure.
So
maybe him reuniting with Natalie Portman at some point?
Were they ever united to reunite? I know they acted in a movie together. Well, acted is a loose interpretation.
They were present in movies together.
They were physically there and pretended to have emotion for one another. So that is a great segue to end on today. If you're still with us, once again, thank you so much. We are the Bro Force Squad. Check out our other movie commentaries on YouTube. Check us out on iTunes, Bro Force Squad, 3 words. Same thing on YouTube. Same thing on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Bro Force Squad. Send us an email, broforcesquad@gmail.com.
Guys, leave us your comments everywhere. Let us know what you think. We know there's some crackpot theories out there. We'd love to hear them.
Yeah, and whether you liked or disliked this Star Wars movie, we want to hear how stupid you think we are for even sitting down to do it for 2.5 hours. Once again, we're the Bro Force Squad. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next time.